Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. So let's talk about episode 18 of this season titled Find Me. This is the Daryl-centric episode where we're going to see him deal with the aftermath of Rick's apparent death and what does he do now. We have this new character here. Her name is Leah, played by Lynn Collins. This episode seems to be centered on these two characters. Daryl meets her in a cabin. I have a few ideas. I have heard some things, and so I want to talk about all of that in this video. So before going any further, if you are new here and you want more videos like this, just make sure to hit subscribe. And if you haven't, make sure to go follow me on Instagram. That's just @MusicMan on Terrace Street. The link for that should be down below. And yeah, let's just jump into this. So there's this woman here. Her name is Leah, and we don't really know too much about her. We know that Daryl comes across her in a cabin. Now, I don't think she's actually going to be any type of villain or anything like that. I actually think she's going to be someone very important to Daryl because there's this shot of her right here. And it's just the look in her eyes. It's just the way that it's the facial expression that she's making. You know, she's looking at Daryl here. She just doesn't seem like a villain. She doesn't seem like someone that is, going to hurt Daryl in any way, at least physically or anything like that. And we'll talk about that in a second. But I think that she is actually going to be someone who is very, very important to Daryl. And I do think it's going to be something that a lot of fans have been wanting for a while. And I have heard things about her potentially being some type of love interest or something for Daryl. Now, that's sort of the whole thing with this, though, is that if she is Daryl's potential love interest, then what happens to her? Where does she go? Right? That's basically what I am wondering about. And we don't know if this is confirmed or anything like that. Like, this is just stuff that I've seen in the comments. People are talking about this. I have no idea if this is true at all, but just based off of the character, the way that she seems here, I do think this could be someone very special for Daryl. And I also think that she could be the original owner of the dog. And I know it's a crazy theory, but I think it makes sense because there's this shot right here of Daryl with the dog, and I think he's actually just walking with the dog, and I think she's probably up ahead because Daryl's looking at something up ahead here, and I think she's probably just walking ahead because this isn't like an actual image still shot from the episode, right? This is just more of a photograph of it. And so I think that at this point here, Daryl and the dog are just hanging out here. They probably have a close bond. And I think that he is hanging out with this woman here. And there's just so much connection, I guess, between the two. Because you go back to this shot here of her, she just looks like Daryl. Like, she looks like a female Daryl. It's like the fur here and stuff like that. She looks like she lives outdoors and like she has the dog and stuff. And she literally looks like she could be the female equivalent to Daryl. And so, I don't know. I think these two definitely could work really well together. And I hope nothing happens to her in the episode. Like, if this is actually someone that Daryl fell in love with. And I know there's the whole Connie thing, and we'll talk about that in a second, but if this is actually someone that Daryl fell in love with, what happened to her? And if she did survive, and if there's just something where she just left for some reason or whatever, can Daryl meet her again in the spinoff? And if he does meet her again in the spinoff, I can just tell that I'm going to like this actress and I'm going to like her performance as this character. She just seems like there's something about her, and I don't really know her backstory. Like, you got to remember, this is a few years into the apocalypse. Has she been alone for the entire time? Probably not. She probably has been with people. She's out here all alone. So is Daryl. Daryl lost people. He's out here all alone. I think this makes sense. When you think of the episode title Find Me, maybe that kind of is what the theme is of it. Like, Daryl finds himself with her, or maybe Daryl finds a note that says find me or something like that leads him to her. Although that would make no sense because when he finds that cabin, she's in it and he seems very surprised. So that probably makes no sense. But yeah, I don't know. Unless you're going to have a whole Dwight and Sherry situation where she leaves a note or something for Daryl and she writes find me or something like that. And Daryl's like, okay. But then he just doesn't for however many years. Now, there is the whole Connie thing to this. And the reason why I just like Daryl and Connie definitely as characters, they work really well together. And also, if you think of the spin-off show, Connie's not going to follow Daryl to that show, right? Like, Lauren Ridloff she's doing a bunch of other things. I don't think she's going to be in that spin-off show. That's a Daryl and Carol spin-off show. It makes sense that an actress like Lynn Collins could be on that show, and that is someone that Daryl runs into just much later, right? I think that makes a lot more sense. And so where does Connie fit into all of this? Well, I just know that it's not going to go too far because Daryl is leaving the show. And I don't think Lauren Ridloff is going to go on that spinoff show. I think Lynn Collins could for sure, but I don't think Lauren Ridloff is going to. So I see it ending in a way where they're both just like very great friends. Because if you think of Carol and Daryl, everyone said the same thing about them earlier on, that there was something there. But Daryl just, they just clicked and they really took care of each other. And I think if Carol died back then, Daryl would also be affected the same way, And so Connie's death, well, apparent death, we know she's still alive, but that is affecting Daryl a lot. But when he does find out that she's alive, like, that's the thing too. There's probably going to be a lot of drama here. Like, I definitely see something happening between Daryl and Connie for sure. Like, something is going to happen between them, but I don't know how long it's going to last just because there is that spinoff show. But it is possible that Daryl just leaves, tells Connie that I have to go find Rick. I will be back. And so they are in a relationship, they are together, but Daryl just has to leave. But then he runs into her, but he's already with someone, and so that causes a bunch of stuff. And then there's just that typical drama there. It is interesting though, just like if Lynn Collins, or Leah, I guess her name would be, like if she is romantically linked to Daryl, I don't know if they hooked up or something inside that cabin, but like what if she's pregnant, right? And then when Daryl runs into her, maybe in the spinoff show, she has a kid or something like that, and that's Daryl's son or daughter. You never know what could happen here. There's a lot of possibilities, and I do think if this is what happens, and she is Daryl's love interest, and this episode is exploring that and what Daryl's been up to, and this is just like this big secret he's had the entire time, then yeah, the character of Daryl is definitely going to get explored a lot in the spin-off show. I think everything that Daryl fans have been wanting from the character for a while, it's gonna happen in that spin-off show. Like, he's gonna have a love interest, he might have a kid, and there's just, so we'll have to wait and see, where all of this goes. Like, is she going to be the one that's with Daryl, or is it going to be Connie? To me, I ultimately don't really care. Like, I actually think Connie is probably the best for Daryl. The only reason why I kind of like Leah with Daryl a little bit more is because I'm assuming that she's a lot like Daryl. And so I just imagine both of them, but that might be why it doesn't work. Connie, she's just so happy and she has so much confidence, and they get along so well. She's opened up this different side to Daryl that we haven't seen in a very long time. There is something special there. And I do think more stuff is going to happen. I just don't think it's going to lead anywhere because, again, the spinoff show. Right? Lauren Ridloff, I don't see her following Daryl. Maybe they could do something where Daryl's just going to leave for now, but he'll be back. He probably, like Michonne left her kids. Michonne does have the intention of coming back, so maybe they just do something like that. But yeah, other than all this, I mean, who else could she be? I don't really know. Daryl spends a lot of time with her, and so that's why I think that it is going to be some kind of romantic relationship that happens, and something that after Daryl lost to Rick, Daryl was, vulnerable, very upset, weak, and broken. And then she did something to him. And maybe, yeah, I don't know. I definitely think something here could happen. And I think, well, that's the thing too. That's what's so hard about this episode is that you don't really understand what's going on with Daryl. Like, we have this shot here of Daryl screaming. What is happening here? Has she just died or something and Daryl's freaking out? Or is this Daryl freaking out because he can't find Rick and he's screaming Rick or something like that? Like, I don't really know what's going on here. Daryl never screams like that. That's the thing. He doesn't really scream for really any reason. Like, he's not that dramatic, right? I don't think he's yelling for someone or yelling Rick, because that's just not in the character. If anything, I think he's probably hurt, but then you have to question, why is he hurt? Did he step on a bear trap? Probably not. So I just wonder how much Carol knows about her and how much Daryl let on, how much did he tell everyone else about her? But again, this is me just assuming that there is something here. Like, this video really is more just assuming that there is something here. But I think it makes a lot of sense. I do think this is Daryl's secret, not wife, girlfriend or whatever, right? I think it makes a lot of sense. Why else would you bring this character in? She's someone just brand new, and like, what's going to happen to her? Is she just going to try kill Daryl in the end? And then, like, no, I don't think that's going to be the case. But yeah, I'll just leave it here. I just wanted to give my thoughts on this. I definitely think we are at the moment now where it's time to see Daryl like actually have a relationship. I think it makes sense to introduce this idea here in these 6 new episodes, since they are character development episodes. And I think doing this gives Daryl a lot of depth, and it introduces an idea that maybe she could return if she left, or maybe she just dies in the episode. But if she didn't die, and she just left. Maybe she could come back in the final season or in the Daryl and Carol spinoff. My bets are going to be placed that she probably would come back in the Daryl and Carol spinoff, because I don't think they want to. I think that's something that could be exciting for the spinoff, right? Because if we know who she is, we know what she meant to Daryl and this and that. In the spinoff show, when she does show up, it's just drama and excitement, and so yeah. Anyways, I'll leave it here. Post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.